everybody, it's Katie, the Celestial Homebody, and if you clicked on this video, I can assume one of two things about you. Either you clicked on this video because you got a notification that I posted because you're a subscriber, in which case, you're my favorite. Or you clicked on this video because you're a nerd like me and are interested in either the title and or the thumbnail about plushies inspired by video games. That's right, we actually have a theme today for this week's makes. But if you are not into video games, don't go anywhere, okay? Because I'm going to be putting all of the images that I am using to reference to make these characters right here. So if you don't know who these characters are, don't fret. You'll be able to see the reference image right here, and you can kind of compare, what I was going for. I have a jam-packed episode for you today. This is actually 2 weeks of crochet because instead of doing my weekly makes video last week, I did the vlog instead. So actually really quick, let's go over my upload schedule. You can hit the 10 times skip past this if you don't care. But if you're a subscriber, on Mondays I'm going to be uploading my weekly makes videos, and then on Fridays is going to be everything else. So all the vlogs, all of the tutorials, all of just the random videos. So Mondays is always going to be weekly makes day. All right. So before we get into it, for the sake of legality, none of these characters are actually the characters from the games, okay? They're all inspired by. So, for example, let's start with this little guy who's resting on my shoulder. This is inspired by a junimo from the game Stardew Valley. They're like these little apple guys that help you out on your farm. So, yeah, he turned out really cute. And as you can see, he's sitting atop my shoulder. And, oh my gosh, hang on. Sidetrack. Okay. I have big news, you guys. I was accepted to vend at Comic-Con. So this is a 3-day event with tens and thousands of people there. Rainn Wilson from The Office is going to be there. William Shatner is going to be there. Katie Shakoff is going to be there from Battlestar Galactica. I love that show. So it's going to be a big event. So a lot of these plushies were inspired by going to Comic-Con. So this Junimo guy, inspired by Stardew Valley, you can see he's sitting atop my shoulder. And how I did that was I got these little magnets from Amazon. If you have littles in the house, don't keep these around. But my baby is 3 months old, so she's not at the point where she's crawling or anything to get these. These will all be sold, hopefully, by the time she's at the age where she might want to stick this in her little mouth. So I decided that instead of just having these little junimos as just plushies, they would be cute as just plushies. I wanted them to be little shoulder buddies. So what I did was, as I was doing the decrease rounds, after I stuffed it, I slipped one of these magnets into the little booty and then closed it up. So now it magnetizes, and so you can just put it on your shoulder here and then slip this under whatever you're wearing. And there, he sits on you. How cute is that? So, I did 10 of these inspired by Junimos. We'll call them Juminos, okay? The non-trademarked version. So none of these guys have arms and legs, and I'll explain why in a second. So I, of course, did the yellow. I did a blue. Another blue. Oh, these two love each other. This one is way bigger than this one. We've got a green. I did another green. A purple. a red, an orange, a dark teal, and a pink. And they've all got their little blush. The way that this pattern tells you to do these is really cool, actually. By the way, the pattern link will be in the description box, as well as everything else that I talk about in this video that has a pattern link. So you start in like a 4 single crochet, and then you increase just a little tiny bit at a time, but you're supposed to leave a really long tail when you do your slip knot. So at the very end, you pull the tail through, and then it creates like this little indent in which you put the stem into. So it's just really clever how they do that. So the crocheting of these took me about an hour each. Well, more like 50 minutes each with like the blush and everything. Which I feel like is a long time for something of this size. I did use Big Twist Posh on these because I wanted like the really like vibrant colors, especially for like the reds. So I used Big Twist Posh and I think 5mm hook. So of course they don't come out super big, but I think that it's worth it for the colors. I mean, look at this orange. Look at that. It's not even coming across as neon as it is in person. But look, you can put 2 on your shoulders. Look at that. You can have a little Junimo gang. And they, of course, all have their magnets. So the reason that they don't have arms and legs and stems, I have all of their like little leafies done that I need to sew on. But I have a vlog coming out on Friday. Set your calendar, by the way. Friday, I've got a vlog. And I went shopping to all of the usual craft stores, including Joann's, multiple Joann's locations. By the way, spoiler alert, had to go to multiple. And I got home and I realized that I forgot to get Big Twist Posh in black. And I really wanted to use the Posh to do their arms and legs because they're just slip stitches with or it's a chain with slip stitch back, and like, see, you can kind of see like these little fluffs. This is Chenille Home Slim from Michaels, and I wanted something that wasn't like, I knew was not going to shed. So Big Twist Posh, I think in black, is going to be the best option for their arms and legs, but I wanted to do this one and get them done just so that I can have a little showpiece to show you guys of one of them completed today. So all of these guys are going to remain limbless until I get that Big Twist Posh. So we'll let him sit here on my shoulder for the remainder of the video. You be good. Okay. Next, I'm gonna get the most exciting one out of the way. Okay. Also in my vlog on Friday, you're going to see that the reason I had to go to multiple Joann's, spoiler alert, is I had to find the white baby bear to finish this work in progress that I have had sitting for like 2 weeks. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I didn't post a weekly makes video last week, because I had so many unfinished whips. But you guys, she turned out so good. And this one is not getting sold. She took me way too long to sell. Like, I would have to put like a $500 price on this thing because she just took so long. I'm just gonna show you. Okay, she's huge too. She's literally the size of a toddler. From the game Animal Crossing, this is my favorite villager. This is going to be Tia. I'll show you right there. There's Tia. All right, got a good look at her? Here she is. Ah, it's Tia! She doesn't even fit in frame. Now, if you notice, she's naked, and that was on purpose. It's because I don't really care for the outfit that she wears. And I'm deciding like what outfit I want to put her in. So for right now, she just has her little flower body. She's an elephant that's inspired by a teacup. Oh my goodness, she's so cute and she's gigantic. I made a tail for her, but her tail got off and walked away because I can't find it anywhere, and I'm out of this blue. So, and the tip of her tail is blue. So right now she's shirtless and tailless. So I guess you can't consider her complete. But there she is. This is the first time I have ever used felt eyes. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did it for one other thing. But felt eyes and a mouth, and she has little lipstick. Mwah. I just freehand cut all of the felt. I could use my Cricut back there, but honestly, I can't be bothered with that. So, all of her little flowers, I could have sewed on, but I actually hot glued them on because I use like a little silicone finger nub, and I put the hot glue, you know, under, and then I use my finger nub and press it down because it like embeds it into the fibers. I don't really know how to explain that. Like, do you see how it's not like sticking up? With sewing, they tend to kind of still have a puffy appearance, and I wanted it to be like nice and flat because she's supposed to be like a painted china teapot. So yeah, looking at her front on, she looks a little goofy, and this eye is a little too close, but that's okay. She's turning her head just like in her picture. My husband said that her body looks like the body of the pig from Sing, of the mama pig from Sing. And now I can't see it. Look at her little pot belly. You know what? Don't make fun of her. The camera adds 10 pounds, okay? That booty. She kind of looks like she skipped arm day at the gym, but that's her design. And I love her. So she's going to sit in the background of my videos. By the way, we've got a different background today because there's a window right here, which is normally to my side when I film, and it was giving me some spooky lighting, so that's why I'm sitting this way. But she's going to sit on my yarn shelf in the background of all my videos, and I love her. I love her so, so much. She is gigantic and very huggable, so she's not going anywhere. Okay, next, let's stick with the Animal Crossing. So this is kind of a cheater one because I did not crochet this in the last 2 weeks. I just want to show it to you. This is another Animal Crossing villager. My Junimo is looking pretty sad. So this is going to be Stitches from Animal Crossing. So I actually made this for my daughter while I was pregnant with her. And I don't love the way that he turned out. So I think I'm going to remake her one and sell this one. My baby deserves perfection. So, okay, before I show this to you, there's a couple of changes that you're going to notice to this Stitches. So this Stitches is very vibrant. In fact, if you did him in a Big Twist Posh, they have perfect colors to get it like identical to what Stitches actually looks like. But I wanted to do a pastel Stitches. If you don't know me, then you might not know that I absolutely am a sucker for pastels. Love them. So I wanted to do him in pastel shades. I actually made this kind of toward the beginning of my amigurumi journey. Not like at the beginning, but it was before I started doing like markets and everything. Like I had just found out I was pregnant with my daughter. So this was like a little over a year ago. And you can tell that it's one of my earlier plushies, okay? So to get the colors, this was before I really knew about Sweet Snuggles Light. And I used the purple Sweet Snuggles Light on him and then the greens, but for his body and his shirt, I used Baby Bear from Big Twist. And if you don't know the difference between Baby Bear, which is like a 4-weight, and a Sweet Snuggles Light, which is like a 6-weight, they don't go together. And I use the same size hook on his entire body. So, okay, I'm just going to show you and stop yapping. Okay, so here's Stitches. And he is very, very cute. But he has holes. He's very holy because these greens and this purple was Sweet Snuggles Light, and then the orange and the white are Big Twist Baby Bear. And again, I did not switch the hook size. I mean, he doesn't look too bad. This, I remember, took me forever because I did stitch on each one of these stars. I had to hand make the stars and obviously, and hand stitch them on. And then for him too, I was too stingy to buy a crochet pattern. And so I just freehanded this. I just looked up like a teddy bear crochet pattern, and I can't even link it for you now because it was so long ago I don't remember what I used. But then I just modded it and just kind of figured out where to do the color changes. Obviously his arms were in different colors, and for his shirt as well, he's got like a little belly patch down there, which I actually did a color change for, which was pretty high tech for me at the time. And for this little purple patch here, again, I just freehanded it. I just modded the teddy bear pattern, and something about him just doesn't look right to me. I think it might be his muzzle is too, I don't know. I remember redoing his nose like 15 times. But overall, he's cute. Like, he's good enough for my daughter. Like, she would love this when she gets to the age that she's, like, into stuffed animals. It definitely, you can tell that it's stitches from Animal Crossing. I'm sorry. It's inspired by stitches from Animal Crossing. Different color, so it is not actually stitches. And, yeah, his little tail is very cute. I love the colors that I used on him, but if I'm going to make this again, I need to use all of the same. I can't use all of Big Twist Baby Bear because they don't have all of these colors. Like, I've got a lot of colors that I need for this. Also, I don't know if I would redo the embroidered stars with like crocheted embroidered stars. I might do like felt and glue them on. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see if that even happens, if I end up making another one. It is very, very low on the priority list. So I've got too much market prepping to do for Comic-Con. And then just a couple weeks after that, I have the huge like 30,000 attendee Ren Fair. So not a priority to remake this, but there he is. I just wanted to show him off. It just, you come a long way when you practice crocheting every single day for multiple hours a day. So there he is. By the way, for Tia, there was a pattern. I will link it below. She has a ton of Animal Crossing villagers. I really want to make meringue next. I think that would be fun. And if I wanted to make something that I know would sell, I could probably do a cat like inspired by Raymond, because he's a very, very popular villager. But there is Tia and Stitches. Okay, next up, something that is just tiny. And I don't really love how this came out, so I only made one of them. So I decided to do a blue chicken from Stardew Valley to kind of go with the Junimo. So in Stardew Valley, you can get these chickens that are blue and have purple combs. Now, their actual combs in the game are a lot more of a vibrant purple. Like, they're literally this color, but I did not have this color at the time of making this. So that is what really it should look like. And I could probably even use the Big Twist Posh Blue to make it more vibrant, but I only did one of them. I have not purchased the Mabel chicken pattern. I refuse to. I just think it's too easy to get, like, to buy. I'm just really cheap too. So I just freehanded this, and I should have done more rounds in his body to make him a little bit bigger, but that's okay. He is different than the Mabel chicken too, because the Stardew Valley blue chickens have this little curly whirly on their tail. So that was easy to modify. I just chained and then single crocheted back down the chain. By the way, I do have a tutorial on my channel of how to make these, but not this version. Hang on. The keychain version. So these are little pocket blue chickens from Stardew Valley. So you can be reminded that you should be slaving away on your farm instead of working your 9-to-5 job. So I've got 10 blue Stardew Valley pocket chicken keychains, and there is a tutorial on how to make these on my channel. Again, I wish I had that big twist posh color. I think that they would have just made these all the better, but that's okay. I'm content with how these turned out. So these are just keychains of chickens. They're not that exciting, but made 10 of these. So this is a game that I do not play. It's League of Legends. And if you watched my last vlog from last week, I was talking about getting some white fur to make these little poro guys, these little creatures. I don't know what they are, what they do, but apparently they're a very, very popular character. So I was not able to find any white fur at any of the Michaels that I have gone to recently. So what I ended up doing was getting, what's it called? I think it's a Burnout brand. It's the Baby Snuggle. It's this. I don't know. I can't think of the name of this yarn, but I ended up getting this to create that fuzzy appearance of them. So I made a poro. Actually, I made 1, 2, 3 poros. And this is a really easy pattern. They're essentially just a ball with 4 baubles for the feet. And then you do have to make the horns separately and sew them on. There is probably a way to make that a no-sew and do baubles, but I liked how they're not really pointy, but you know, they're cone shaped. And then instead of crocheting the tongue, I got some foam and just cut the foam out and then glued that in. I assume, like, I don't like using safety eyes or glue on products if, like, I know that the likelihood of a child getting it is very high. But since this is a League of Legends character, I figured that most of the customers for these would be adults. Even if I wanted to play League of Legends, I doubt I would have been allowed to. Like, I wasn't even allowed to watch, like, Austin Powers until I was, like, 15. So, I don't think a lot of kids will know, like, what this is. I mean, maybe they'll just see it and think it's cute and want it, in which case, maybe. But, I would like to do more of these because, like I said, they're not too difficult. They take me, like, 45 minutes each. So I did have to double up whatever this yarn is. I did 2 strands on a 6mm hook, question mark. I should have written it down because I knew I was going to do more. So yeah, I'll link the pattern to this down below as well. I think that these will be a good seller for Joey barking. I think that these will be a good seller for Comic-Con. These are not video game related, but I did do 3 Leggy frogs just randomly. I was too lazy to get up to get my stuffing, and these are really easy to make the carcasses of and not have to stuff them. So I had my green mystical sitting right there, so I just did these. I don't know if my tension is too tight or what, but my legs and arms always like spiral. There is hair all over these, my goodness. I'm a disaster. I gotta get my lint roller out for these guys. But yeah, I did 3 of them. I just made the bodies and then went back later and stuffed them and sewed them off. So random, but 3 leggy frogs. Okay, for this next one, if you know what this is, we can be friends. Well, we can be friends regardless. But here's what I want you to do. I'm going to hold up this plushie. He's a little guy, okay? I'm going to hold him up, and I want you to get your fingers ready because I want you to type in the comments. I will give you 10 seconds. If you know what this is, type it in the comments, okay? Are you ready? This is so niche. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Go. Type it in the comments. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll see how many comments I have coming in of people who know what this is. It kind of looks like a naked mole rat. This is from the very, very niche game that maybe a lot of people played in the 90s, and I still do play, is Neopets. Did you forget about your Neopets? Are they starving right now? I still play Neopets. This is a meepit. This is what a meepit looks like, and this is my crochet meepit. I think I did a pretty good job. This is going to be a one-off thing because it took me like an hour to do, and like I said, it's so niche. Like the right person will come by and say, oh my gosh, that's a meepit, I need to have it. How cute would it be if I put a magnet in him too, and he can evilly plot schemes on your shoulder. Meepits are secretly evil, by the way. That's like their whole gimmick, is that they look really cute and they look kind of like little hamster things, but they're actually evil and plotting to take over the world. So there he is. The way that you do this is interesting. It's a free pattern that I found on a Neopets crochet Reddit. But you do his head and then you stop, and then you do a magic ring, and then you build out his body, and then you like crochet his head. It's very interesting how it's done, but the shape of him turned out pretty good. And he's got his little arms going, ha 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 ha, and his little thumpy feet. I'm really, really curious how many people knew that this was a meepit from Neopets. But there's my little meepit. So while I had this color out, I decided to do a little critter inspired by Kirby. So there is my little Kirby. I actually did 10 of these guys. I'm not going to show you all of them because it's just 10 of the same thing, but 10 little Kirbys. I decided to use the kawaii eyes on him, and this was the very, very first time I ever used actual blush, like makeup blush, on a plushie, which was very nerve-wracking. But I figured since he's already pink, if I did mess up on my first go around, it wouldn't be the end of the world because he's still pink. So he turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. Looks very cute with the kawaii eyes and with the blush. I mean, this is easy. It's literally just a ball with 4 baubles. You do have to do a color change for this, for the feet. But I mean, if I did this on a smaller scale, this would be a cute little keychain too. And remember, this isn't a Kirby. This is a Flurby, because we're not messing with the copyrighted stuff and trademark stuff, right? So there's my little Flurby guy. I would have liked to do like an O mouth, but I found that whenever I do O mouths on things, they don't sell as well as the smiles. Like I use my ghosts that I did for last fall's markets. The ghost that had like the ooh face did not sell until very last, where all the smile ones sold first. And Kirby's thing / Flurby's thing is to kind of like suck things in and become like the shape of that object, whatever he sucks in, and he just eats a lot. So I was gonna do the O mouth on him, but I was like, you can't go wrong with the cute little smile. So all 10 of them got cute little smiles. Okay, couple more things to show you. So when I was a middle schooler, back in the Wii era, who remembers the Nintendo Wii? I loved to play the game Super Mario Galaxy. In fact, I have my original copy of Super Mario Galaxy sitting right there up on my shelf above my desk. And my favorite princess in the Super Mario world is Princess Rosalina. I love her colored dress and everything. She's just so pretty, and she's a tall gal too. A woman after my own heart, so loved Rosalina. And in Super Mario Galaxy, and like the Rosalina franchise, she has these little star creatures that are like her children, and they're called Lumas. And so I wanted to do a character inspired by a Luma. So I found this pattern on Etsy, and it was really cheap too. And I did a Luma, a little star guy. So I used the Burnout baby blanket in sparkle yellow for him. I mean, there's a lot of light coming out of this window, so you're not going to get a real good sparkle effect on him. And all of the stitches on everything that I've shown look super duper defined too, because of how harsh the light is right now. But I absolutely love his little legs. And his hips too. I used Sweet Snuggles, Chenille Holmes Slim to do the eyes because I needed a nice thick black. So he's got the little curly whirly, his little hair tuft up top. So I was so happy with the way that he turned out that I decided that I wanted to do another Luma, but this time inspired by the Super Mario movie. You know, the little Luma in the cage who's like, we're all gonna die. So I used another color that I had of the Burnout Baby Blanket Sparkle, and I did one of these guys. And this one is a little different because he has a mouth. Like the regular Super Mario Galaxy Luma, they don't have mouths, but this one talks. So he has a mouth, and then he also has two little hair tufts at the top, which I just freehanded. But I mean, same body shape and everything. And I didn't put the little white glistening in his eyes because this is a character that you would feel like has no soul in his eyes. You know what I mean? So I didn't do the white in there, but I just thought, like, how cool would it be for somebody to come to the con, like, dressed up, cosplaying as Rosalina, and then be carrying this around, her little Luma? Oh, how cute would that be? Oh my gosh. I might need to make another one of these for me because I love it so much. Just for, like, the back, you know, my shelf, my yarn shelf. So I was using Burnout on these, like I said. Look, tell me. Do my forearms look buff to you? Do they look buff? Because I'll tell you what, working with this Burnout blanket with like a size 8 hook, whoo, they were on fire, man. They were on fire. But they both turned out very cute, and I stuffed them real nice too. Like they're firm. They're good to like cuddle because I wanted them to keep their shape. So there are my Lumas. We're almost done. I have one last thing to show you. The grand finale. The biggest thing of them all. Actually, no. I think Tia might be bigger than this thing. You have probably seen this pattern before. If you're in the world of nerd plushies. This is a ditto from the game Pokemon. There's what a ditto looks like. And there's my ditto. He's just a big blob. And the concept of ditto is that he can morph into any other creature, any other Pokemon. I love his big, goofy mouth. His mouth, you know. And on him, I used Burnout Baby Blanket. And this one was way softer than the Sparkle. So I did not have any issues with, like, how hard it was on my arms with this one, but I think I used a hook size that was too big. So I actually used 8mm hook, or no, I'm sorry, 7mm hook on both the Lumas and this guy. But because this was like the newer formula and much softer, I think it was thinner because I do have some little itty bitty holes. So I'm going to make another one of these and size down on my hook. He ate a lot of stuffing. He ate like half a box of the 5-pound box of stuffing, but I really wanted to make sure that it was like spread out and not like lumpy in one spot. He is, oh my gosh, so huggable. Somebody is going to absolutely love hugging this guy. this is a free pattern, believe it or not. And I was concerned about how they were going to do the little like ghost feet part. But how they did it was you made 3 magic circles with couple rows of increases, and then you put them all together. And I don't know why, but I could not for the life of me comprehend how to attach these 3 pieces. I don't know why I couldn't though. And so I ended up having to attach 2, and then you're supposed to like attach it and then crochet around and then attach another one. But every time I tried to do that, excuse me, for some reason, like one of my pieces would be like upside down. I don't know. So I ended up just attaching 2 and then cutting off the yarn and then attaching the other 2. But then I was like, oh shoot, like my stitches are off now because the instructions are to attach them while you're crocheting around pieces. So then I had to go back and like single crochet just sections of this piece. But anyways, it turned out to be okay. I ended up getting the right stitch count for what I needed to do the foundation of this guy. But he took a lot longer than he should have because I was really on the struggle bus with that one. And his arms, if you notice, are 2 different sizes, which is on purpose, which I really appreciate because I normally have to make limbs 3 times. You know how it is. You're a crocheter. You know you got to do limbs and ears 3 times because one of them is not like the other. So it was nice having the leeway, like knowing that one of his arms were bigger than the other, that I could like not have to worry about counting over and over to make sure that they were the right size. So he's supposed to kind of look like he's like melting. And I think that he's going to go to a really good home where somebody will just love to like put this on their bed and just snuggle them. I have one more thing to show you before I say goodbye to you today, actually, and it is not crochet, but it is an art installation that I recently made. And before I show this to you, I want to paint a picture for you of what inspired this piece, okay? So sit down, little kitties. Let me tell you a story. The year was 2006, I think. 2006. Little Katie was about 10 years old. And she stood on the stairs amongst her cousins, whilst the smell of cinnamon rolls filled the air and Jingle Bell Rock played on the radio, for it was Christmas morning. Little Katie ran down the stairs, and there she saw, sitting atop the piano, actually, was sitting on top of the closed piano, was a Nintendo DS Lite in the color ice blue, sitting betwixt the box that it came in and the game Nintendogs. And from that moment on, little Katie was changed to be a gamer girl. The end. So before I had my DS Lite, I did have a Game Boy Advance, but I wasn't like that into it. It wasn't until the DS that I really, that I really got into like gaming, because I was kind of at that age. I was like 9-10 years old, and all of my friends at school had the DS, and like we could all like play our Nintendogs and everything. So I took my original Nintendo DS and I put it into a shadow box. I actually found this frame at Goodwill, and it had some other stuff in it, and I just took the stuff out of it and painted the backdrop and put in my Nintendo DS. There is my original stylus that my grubby little 10-year-old hands touched. And some of my favorite games, we've got Nintendogs, Tinkerbell, and Style Savvy. I could not find my original copy of Animal Crossing Wild World, otherwise that would have been like #1 in here. And actually that leads us to our question of the day. What is your favorite game? It doesn't have to be a video game. It can be a board game or a card game, any type of game, like a playground game, whatever type of game you want to let me know about, leave it in the comments down below. My favorite all-time game is Animal Crossing, just the entire Animal Crossing franchise. It started here with Wild World on the DS. Then I played City Folk on the Wii. Animal Crossing New Leaf on the Nintendo 3DS, I put like 500 hours into. And of course, Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch, I've got like 2,000 hours in that puppy. So needless to say, it is my favorite game. Let me know what yours is in the comments down below. Well, that is all I have for you today. 2 weeks of crochet. I didn't even show you like each individual thing because like I had 10 of the Flurbies. I had, you know, all the junimos. I had all the chicken keychains. I had a lot of big stuff. So let me grab Tia so I can do my sign off. Thank you so much for joining me today on this journey of crochet. If you would do me a favor and click on my face right there, poke that face, and hit that subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.